All right, so we got LeBron James' plan is insane. Now listen, I think we all know what LeBron James' plan is. He wants to play until both his sons are in the league. Now, is that really like realistic? Probably not. But I can also see it happening. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. At the time of this recording, we are at 461. 500. Right there. At my back door, knocking. I just can't answer right now because I'm getting my feet rubbed. I need y'all to subscribe, comment some shit, and like the video. It's simple. We making people like Jack Doherty famous. Why can't I be one of them? Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let's go.
You gotta earn it.
Oh, this video's from Flight Mike. I fuck with him also. He's like Mike Korzemba tier to me.
And he knows that. He's looking forward to the progress, to the process of getting better and better every single day to be the player that he ultimately wants to be. So
I am pleasantly surprised as a Los Angeles Laker fan. I mean, I will admit, going into the season, I felt like in regards to winning the offseason, we were at the very, very bottom. As a matter of fact,
you guys
I thought
got
we were
Dalton.
one of the biggest losers of the offseason. Sure, drafting Dalton Connect was cool, but
Yeah.
I was kind of on the fence about hiring JJ Redick. And then there
Let me tell you this right now. JJ Redick has been doing a great job as a coach. He's actually getting on LeBron's ass when he fucks up. He's yelling and everything at him. I don't know if he's cussing, but he's yelling. So he's doing a better job than Darvin Ham Sandwich was. So that's a win in my book if you a Laker fan.
drafting of Bronny
That's
James
a win.
that kind of made me very pessimistic as a Laker fan. But alas, it seems like things are very, very promising for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers have a very unique plan for Bronny James, so I'm going to come out with a video on the Lakers' massive improvement following this. But first, I want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers' insane plan for Bronny that's unprecedented. So before we get to the content, make sure you check
Sorry, Flight.
and making an easy 75.
Why are you trying to be like me? Nigga put in parlay trying to be like me.
At the Flight Mike or
God damn.
1212. What's going on, everybody? It's official, everyone. After everything that has gone into it, from his McDonald's All-American senior year of high school to his extremely underwhelming college season at USC to the pre-draft rumors, the
If you bet on a player to score the first touchdown and instead
to 1,000
he scores
subs,
the
bro. I will
second,
buy you two
get your
premium.
money
I
back in
promise.
cash.
the
Promise.
actual draft itself, the Summer League, and the preseason, we can all now say that we finally have been able to witness
such a
history.
that's such a
and that
tough
there's
picture.
been a father-son duo not only to play on the same court during an NBA game, but on the very same team.
That's
on October
hard.
23rd, with 4 minutes left in the first half of the Lakers' opening night, Bronny James checked into the game alongside his father. My personal favorite part about this is how nonchalant LeBron was trying to act as he was about to make history. It's like so typical of LeBron. I'm not trying to say this to hate on him. It's just LeBron is like one of the funniest personalities of all time.
That's a
Whether
fact.
it's lying about stuff that doesn't need to be lied about.
Or him mumbling to fucking lyrics he doesn't know.
My first time actually reading this from start to finish. But just a very, very smart man. Very, very, very smart man. His words in the 60s is actually what's going on today still.
To him trying
He
to
don't know what
act
he talking
like
about.
something that is literally NBA history isn't that big of a deal. But alas, NBA history was only about 2.5 minutes long, which turned out to be the only minutes that he would get the entire night. Now, I have to say it was pretty cool nonetheless. And even though Anthony Davis somehow went unnoticed as the best player on the floor, having gone off for 36 points and 16 rebounds, I love the
Sheesh.
Lakers having just beaten the Timberwolves, who we shouldn't forget were a 56-win team last year. Most of the focus, if not all of the focus, was on LeBron and his son Bronny. The only
Facts.
thing that could have made the night more significant from a historical perspective would have been if Bronny would have actually produced anything beyond the one rebound that he had. Not that he had many chances given the limited time he spent on the court, but he did, however, have an opportunity on the right wing to knock down a three-pointer on a dish from his dad, which unfortunately...
That would have been so. Imagine if he'd have made that off of LeBron James' assist, bro. We'd probably still be talking about that from the debut to now.
Now, if
Literally.
he would have made it, it would have definitely brought the house down. However, from a marketing perspective, I have to say, for the Lakers moving forward as well as for the NBA, this is probably a good thing because Bronny going scoreless does give them yet another reason to continue dragging the narrative forward, being that there is still another level to be achieved if he can put the ball in the bucket while actually sharing the court with his dad. Not to
Facts.
mention that at some point in the future, we'll probably get to see an alley-oop from the two, but until then, despite Bronny actually having recently had the single best performance of his professional professional career in the Lakers' final preseason game against the Warriors, it looks like he still hasn't done nearly enough to skip over the...
What's y'all ceiling for Bronny, bro? I can only see Bronny being a fucking bench piece player. Realistically, I can't see him being a starter. Don't see him becoming an all-star. I can see him becoming someone like Alex Caruso, who's going to hustle, give you defense, and knock down open shots. That's what I can see for Bronny, which isn't bad. That's still a good-ass fucking role. That's just what I see.
Even with his dad's grand power and nepotism as fuel. With that said, I also think that his recent opening night game with LeBron actually foreshadowed how confident he looked in that final preseason game. And yeah, they may have lost by almost 50 points on a night where none of the Lakers stars played, but for those who saw, Bronny truly did look like an actual pro for the first time. He finished the game with 17 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 steals. Now, if he can produce like that more often,
steals is crazy.
if it is in the G League, then maybe next time we see him suit up for a regular season matchup, and maybe we'll get to see him play for more than 3 combined minutes. But even then, it's not guaranteed unless the Lakers are up big or down big, and JJ wants him to get some learning reps in. And this brings us to what the Lakers' plan is for Bronny James. When the Lakers originally drafted him with a 55th pick in the NBA draft, a huge question was, what are you going to do with him? At this point, we know Bronny had a pretty bad career with the USC Trojans. It seemed like he was rushed back from a life-threatening heart condition and averaged about 5 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game, shot 37% from the field and 27% from 3. He really didn't look like a NBA player. And hell, even when you watch him, he still doesn't quite look like an NBA.
I ain't gonna lie. Bronny, I think he just needs to go to the G League for about like a year or 2 at the most. Right now, he does not need to be on the NBA court. Unless, like I said, unless he said if they're up big or down big. Other than that, Bronny does not need to be nowhere near NBA court right now. Let him build his confidence up down in that G League, bring him back up for another year, and let him cook. Until then, keep him off the court.
What was the point in drafting him? Was he just going to be a cheerleader for the Lakers all season long?
It's for media.
Bring your kid to work day all year long? How's that going to impact the Lakers?
You wouldn't have to say that. He said bring your kid to work day. You wouldn't have to say that. That's foul.
Chemistry.
That's a technical foul.
Asking in the offseason. What are you going to do with Bronny? You can't have a whole roster spot occupied by a player that is just there because his dad's there. Let's just be realistic. And honestly, it seems like the Lakers have a very unique plan for Bronny. And Shams Charania recently spoke about the specifics about Bronny's upcoming schedule on ESPN just this past weekend.
What can you tell us about Bronny's plans for future development here?
They go on a 5-game road trip that starts next week, and Bronny James will be on that trip, and that includes a momentous game in Cleveland, a homecoming for LeBron James and Bronny James. I am told he will begin his shuttle from the NBA to the G League. He will be assigned to South Bay that week of November 7th when the G League season starts.
So with this officially confirmed, and with the Lakers now sitting at 3-1 after starting off the season exceptionally strong with wins against 3 potential playoff teams in Minnesota, Phoenix, and Sacramento, one has to consider that once the Lakers finish their upcoming 5-game road trip, then...
Let's not forget, the Lakers just lost to the Detroit Pistons. I think that was my last fucking reaction I did. The Lakers just lost to the Detroit Pistons. Like I said in that last video, you guys are a play-in team at best. And you guys are going to lose that play-in game. Simple. I mean, y'all lost to the Pistons.
Potentially be a while before Bronny sees the court again with his father. Actually, it's entirely possible that the only reason Bronny is even going along with the Lakers on this trip at all is because one of the games involves a trip home for the James family to Cleveland, where LeBron can once again flex his power in his native land and share the court with his son in the city that he brought their first title to.
That makes sense. You got every right to.
I also just want to point out
that
it's been almost 10 years since that last happened, if you can believe it. Just for some idea of how long ago that was, Bronny was just 12 years old. But all in all, the G League is the obvious choice here, especially considering that the Lakers are playing at such a high level. It's very possible that even with Bronny accompanying the team on the road trip, a new head coach JJ Redick won't want to risk the early season chemistry more than he already has to by giving Bronny extra appearances or extended minutes. Whether or not this is going to happen remains to be seen, because yes, though Skip Bayless is typically nothing more than a long-time hot take artist, he has recently come out with some skepticism skepticism regarding LeBron's apparent satisfaction with Bronny playing in the G League, saying that LeBron can't actually be happy about what he likely perceives to be a demotion. And while we can't truly know if this is a sentiment shared by LeBron or not, it is something that I could very well see as being a possibility. But in terms of how it plays out, this is probably the best case scenario for Bronny. At least much better than
that's true.
the situation.
Any other bro, listen. First of all, he's not gonna spend his entire career with the Lakers. I know that for a fact. He's probably gonna go to fucking Golden State or Miami. He's never gonna be on the Lakers his entire career. No.
He's not getting to go with the team and see how the league functions from the inside out, both home and away. But he's also going to get to learn how to become a contributor for the Lakers G League team, the South Bay Lakers. Given the time frame of what will likely turn out to be the remaining...
Hold on.
of LeBron's career in the NBA, it doesn't seem like there should be any further rush to get Bronny onto the court. Reports from just this week out of LeBron's camp from his longtime friend and agent Rich Paul state that LeBron's career is going to go on way longer than we could have ever imagined, which is something that we could have never expected.
He's going to play more fucking years? Look, I'm not mad at it, but how many more years is he going to play?
It turns out that LeBron could actually wind up playing as many as 2 or 3 more seasons. And before we continue, I have to say that is absolute insanity. The guy,
I mean, the way he takes care of his body, he definitely could. I can see it, and I haven't seen him slow down at all. The nigga's still playing at a high pace. He's still like a top 15, top 10 player in the league right now.
Almost 40
so that's not crazy
old by the time that's over. A time when most guys are developing into bad knees and have to resort to playing golf just to keep up with maintaining their cardio. But being that LeBron is still putting up absurd performances like his recent triple-double against the Kings, it literally doesn't seem that preposterous for him anymore. Also, once you begin to dissect the situation a bit further, things become a little clearer as to why LeBron James would want to do this. I mean, if you're LeBron James, you're just looking at his accolades, and truly, he doesn't have much left to prove. I mean, sure, you could make the argument that if he wins 2 more championships, he ties Michael Jordan, but he already has accolades that
Let's be real.
Jordan wasn't able to reach.
Let's be real. LeBron is not winning any more championships, bro. Listen, this season is his last chance. If he does not win a championship this season, give it up. He's not winning any more championships unless he goes to the Warriors. Or unless he joins the super team. It's over. I love to see it. I like to see him to win one more. I don't want him to tie Jordan. I do not want him to tie Jordan, but I wouldn't be mad if he won one more.
He is currently the NBA's
Don't tie Michael Jordan,
leader in scoring. He is one of the most decorated stars in NBA history. He has brought an organization that's never tasted championship success, a championship while coming back from a 3-1 series deficit, and he's still productive despite being 40 years old. It's truly remarkable, and I've never been on the LeBron James as a GOAT train, and I'm not diving into this argument because that's a whole separate can of worms. So one has to wonder, especially after being the all-time leader in scoring, why else would LeBron James want to play for 3 more seasons? And the answer is truly insane. Let's talk about Bronny for a second. His rookie contract will take him at worst through the 2026 to 2027
Make sure you get that
Being
bag.
that LeBron is currently set to become an unrestricted free agent that same season, it would appear on first sight that LeBron may have set himself up to guide his son through the next 2 seasons before sending Bronny off into the woods on his own. That is, assuming that LeBron picks up his player option for next season, but this is where it gets pretty fun, because 2026 also just so happens to be the same season that LeBron's other son, Bryce, who some people consider to be a much better pro prospect than Bronny, is...
I'm not gonna lie. Bryce is nice. Bryce damn near might be better than Bronny. Like, I was really for like Bronny's better, but Bryce, ever since he got that growth spurt, oh yeah, Bryce is tough.
going to be eligible for the NBA draft after spending 1 year in college. This has left many people wondering if LeBron, like Rich Paul recently mentioned, will actually end up signing another contract. If he did, and if Bronny were to somehow turn himself into a solid NBA player, then it actually seems possible that both his and his father's career could intersect with Bryce's as well. This would create something so wild that I can't even wrap my mind around this, and it could end with the family potentially having all three of the James gang share the court at once. That being said, this is where we get back to Bronny, because there is a possibility that this could all come crashing down before it manifests itself into what would probably be the craziest.
Yeah, if Bronny's not good, it's not going to work.
Because if Bronny doesn't develop into a solid player, then he could end up not.
And it's like LeBron James' power won't be there. He'll be 43. No one's going to be taking him serious as a number 2 or number 3 option. I mean, you're still going to get publicity. It's LeBron James, but I don't know. Like a team like the fucking Hornets right now could use him just for publicity. But the Hornets are actually nice right now, so maybe the Jazz.
Getting left out, but overshadowed and leapfrogged by his younger brother. The point is that if he is going to continue to fulfill his father's dreams as well as his own, then Bronny is going to ascend with greater pace than we have thus far seen. Because as far as his father has gotten him at this point, I'm not sure it's literally even possible for LeBron to take him any further. It's not like he can magically get Bronny to somehow perform as I'm sure we all know LeBron wishes he were and start knocking down more shots. Because at this point, with all of the glitz and glamour of the big moments out of the way, I have to concede that Shaq and Chuck were completely right when they say all that's left now for the 20-year-old rookie to do is simply to improve. And as simple as it sounds, then buckling down and canceling out the noise is easily the best thing that Bronny could do for himself upon entering the G League. Not to mention, it's a sentiment that his father also shared in the moments after their first win of the season.
What do you want him to remember every time he steps onto this court as an NBA player?
It's not promised every day, that you get an opportunity to play in this beautiful league. It's not given to you. You got to earn every moment. And he knows that. He's looking forward to the progress, to the process of getting better and better every single day to be the player that he ultimately wants to be. So
who knows? Maybe Bronny will ace the G League with flying colors despite the still extremely high level of talent it has. Either way, it could be good for him. Not only will he be away from his father, both in the locker room and on the court, but by playing against the weaker competition, he could gain the confidence he showed against Golden State and start to knock down those drives and kicks from his dad next time he takes the court with him. Either way, LeBron James's plan for his family is absolutely insane.
Tough.
And as a fan of basketball, I hope he fulfills it. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. LeBron James, you are a devious man, but I respect your plan. I hope it goes through for you. I'm not going to lie. It all depends on Bronny for real. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We're out of here.